Hello, it's Enestor 27. I'm here with another Wi-Fi battle today. I got a UU match against the one and only ShadyPenguinn. If you guys don't know him, I don't know where you guys been. This guy is huge. This guy is like one of my favorite YouTubers out there. Definitely a fun guy to watch. Definitely check him out in the description below. And I've been trying to get a battle with him since like he was at like 3K. Now he's at like 100 or so K. Not really sure, but we got ourselves a nice UU match. I'm showing my perspective. He actually uploaded his the other like yesterday, I believe. But yesterday, the day after this is posted and stuff. But yeah, let's just hop right into this match real quick. Alright, so Shady is issuing a challenge. This battle is not going to be sped up because there was a lot of moments that like I'd like to explain myself for. So he's going to lead off with his fortress, and I decided to lead off with my gym party. At the beginning of the game, I was actually really nervous, so my thought process wasn't all that clear. So I decided to hard switch out, even though the better play would have been to U-turn here. I was like, oh god, because I knew he wasn't gonna stay in because he didn't want to like completely break one of his most important pokes. So I decided to switch into my Yan Mega, just predicting like a Swampert switch in to fake the that I have Giga Drain, which I don't, unfortunately. So I'm going to well, it works out in this match, but I'll go to that later. So I'm going to protect, and he's going to bring in the Wheezing. He's going to go for the Flamethrower. Protect, doesn't matter. So I've decided to bring in my Slowbro to take this Flamethrower a lot better than probably my P2 would, to be honest. So after all this recovery, I'm essentially at full health. So this turn, I wanted to make, since I can't really burn this thing, I just needed some kind of like thing that'll hinder it. So I decided to go for the T-Wave, but Shady does make the better play. Bring in the Swampert, probably take the, my water, probably a Psychic or Waterfall, or not Waterfall, a Skull that he was predicting. So he decided to set up the Stealth Rocks. I wasn't really sure as to what he was going to do, so I decided to stay and go for Scald. He goes for Stealth Rocks. I'm going to get Scald. I'm looking for a burn at this point because not really a fun time for me. So I get a critical hit. It doesn't really matter. Like, look at that. It did like maybe 25%. So he's going to... Shrek is going to get a nice Toxic on me, which is going to be super unfortunate because now that one of my walls is going to be very hindered at this point. So that'll come back to play later in the game. I'm just going to get some more damage, fishing for some Scalds right here. I do believe this, after all this residual damage, I think this turn he decides to Roar me out, or I outspeed him for some odd reason. I think Roar is like a minus priority move, so that's why I outsped it for that specific turn. So he roars me out into the best possible poke that I have for the Swampert right here, the only Pokemon with a grass type move here. So unfortunately, I did not have one of my only life orb that I had was non-existent, and I couldn't find my Focus Sash. So I was like, oh crap, what do I do? So I was debating what to put on. I was like, you know what, screw it, just put leftovers. So I decided to go for the the Energy Ball. Just like, I was like, it has to be done. Energy Ball, I cannot let the Swampert live. So I go for the safe Energy Ball. I knew that there'd probably want to be something switching in, but I didn't want to risk going for the Volt Switch and just eat up and take a lot of damage with a Waterfall. So I decided to go for a Volt Switch here, but here, knowing that I'd be faster, but here he reveals he is Scarfed because Galvantula has like base 107 speed, and Hexers has like base 105. So I decided to bring in Speed Demon and essentially cripple this thing because I know I can take at least one Outrage. Don't know how well, but I can at least take one. Yeah, so I take it really well. So I decide to T-Wave it. So now his Scarfed is essentially now useless at this point because now it's just like locked into one move, can be outsped by any of my pokes at this point, minus the Slowbro because Speed Demon, for God knows what reason, cannot even outspeed a Hexers who is paralyzed. But it is Choice Scarf, so it narrows it down, so it just like neutralizes the effect. So this turn I decided to slack off, hoping that I could live, and thankfully Speed Demon was able to hold on with like 5 HP. I'm able to recover a lot of HP back. The Outrage got Ansem. Is that the name of the Hexers? Confused now. Right now I know that he's probably going to want to switch out because it's not going to take me. The next Outrage probably won't take me out unless it got like a weird Mineral or Max Roll for this next one. So I know I'll get a safe Scald for this next turn, and he decides to bring in his his fortress. Fortress is like sort of scary for me, and I decided to take a somewhat stupid play. I don't really know as to why I decided to do this play, but I decided to switch in my Yanmega, which was I think I switched in my Yanmega, which was a sort of poor play in my opinion. Just like, you know, I can't really do anything. I might like Volt Switch was super like obvious here, but he sort of wants to set up his hazard, so I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna be I gotta stop this thing before it can actually start putting like make me poison instead of toxic. So I want to make sure that I get consistent only like 6% done to me instead of it getting higher and higher. So I'm just looking to get some flinches and some other hacks. So thankfully the first one I do get some hacks, which sort of makes up for the lack of burns with those 3 scalds. So I go for the air slash again. I'm like, please get a flinch this time, and unfortunately it doesn't. Whatever, it's not gonna make that much of a bigger deal at the end of the day. So the toxic layers are up, unfortunately for me. So I'm gonna be at what's it called? I'm gonna be poisoned no matter what, unless I somehow get this Yanmega to come back in. So I decided to finish off this creeper with an air slash. So there goes one of his big Pokemon out of the way. So after all this recovery, I will be able to switch out freely, or switch out and switch back in and still be living remotely. But he decides to bring back his Poison Boy. I want to scout out what he wants to go for, make sure he wants to go for that Flamethrower, which he does this turn. And here I decided to play a little bit ballsy because I knew if he actually wanted to play smart, he'd probably predict me to bring in gym partner to get a no. Here I thought that he'd want to like get like better damage on like something that would switch in. So I decided to stay in, go for a Psychic, get some really nice damage on this thing, and I'm able to actually live this Sludge Bomb, but unfortunately he does get the poison. So now Yanmega is essentially stuck here, cannot really like switch out, can't like really recover back its HP at this point. It's a ticking time bomb at this point. So Yanmega, I'm sorry, you're death fodder at this point. You're gonna get a speed boost, which is useless at this point because you're gonna be faster than everything on the field. And I'm gonna go for a Psychic because odds are nothing. Shady doesn't want anything to take a Psychic. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a single Psychic type on his team. Oh wait, there was the Houndoom, which he might have wanted to switch in, but Air Slash was still a really good play, and it wouldn't have made a difference because I would have still outsped, but I'm pretty sure. But as you guys are gonna see later, that the Houndoom is gonna have Sucker Punch, but that's for later. So he's gonna bring in the Jinyu, who's gonna easily kill me with that Ice Shard. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. You're gonna kill my Yanmega. It was gonna die eventually anyway. So I bring in my gym partner. Here I'm just like, okay, this is some nice little hazards for my gym partner to be going through right now. So he decides to switch out his Jinyu. He's like, because I'm assuming that the way he took it out is showing that he's not exactly Focus Sash. So I'm like, oh yes, this will be actually pretty useful for me to know in the future. So I decided to U-turn out, which was a safe play for me because I wanted to break his Focus Sash, but he showed that he's not Focus Sashed, because if he was, he would have gone for a Shell Smash and just essentially wreck my team right there. So I decided to bring in my Absol. Here's my Mega Absol on this Shrek of a Swampert, and I'm just like, okay, this thing has to go now. And my moveset isn't exactly the best for this thing. I have Swords Dance, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, and Superpower. So out of all the moves, I knew that Knockoff would do the most. So I'm like, okay, please. I know Swampert is bulky, but please, Mega Absol, come through. And thankfully, I don't know if that I don't know how close it was, but I'm guessing it was relatively close because Swampert is really bulky. But whatever. I'm gonna get the kill with the Knockoff. He brings in Hades, which was a very questionable play in my opinion, because like no matter what, this thing's not gonna outspeed me. Like, you could have used this thing definitely for later. Probably actually get some damage off from another poke, and get the Sucker Punch off so this thing can actually run rampant. But no, he decides to Sucker Punch now and kill it off for what's it called, the Superpower. Superpower is easily gonna kill the Houndoom because Mega Houndoom unfortunately doesn't really have the best defenses, which is I don't know. I really love Mega Houndoom. Definitely, it's my second favorite Mega, especially for its design and its ability. So he decides to bring in, Shady decides to bring in the Cloyster. Here I'm like, yeah, he doesn't have Focus Sash, he's probably gonna have White Herb. So I go for the knockout. As he goes for the Shell Smash, so I'm like, okay, I can essentially just go for whatever. Essentially he's just gonna be like hindered at this point because anything that touches him will essentially die. So I'm gonna be racking up a lot of poison damage right here, and this was a really clutch play. I was like, this play I knew I had to go for the superpower because I know that at this point Shady really had to go for the only way for him to win was to bring in make a second Shell Smash, so I knew that I had to go for it. But he does go for the smart play, which was the Ice Shard, which does take out my Absol. And I decided to bring in my Speed Demon to eat up these Rock Blasts. Like, hello, they do like nothing. Just like, oh god, just like get off me. Just like it's little damage right there. So I decided to T-Wave it. Not sure, not really the best play right there. Whatever, just making sure that I actually win this game right now. Because if I actually get because I didn't think that I can kill Jinyu from this range, and I was like, I'm probably gonna die next turn. So I just clicked a random move at this point. I was like, oh, just go for like a slack off for some reason, just in case I actually win, I actually live. So this thing is getting some weird rolls. So it goes from 38 to 19. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die right here. So I end up living with 2 HP. I was like, oh my god, I actually lived here, and I was like freaking out. I was like, whoa, I might actually win this. Like, I knew I was gonna win at this point because like his 2 pokes were now paralyzed. Choice Scarf paralyzed, and then Shell Smash paralyzed. I can essentially bring in Gym Partner just to finish him off. So Jinyu is unfortunately gonna get the Rock Blast to miss this turn. It would have killed me this turn. I was hoping they actually killed the Slowbro because I wanted to safe switch into Gym Partner to finish off this Cloyster, but that's very unfortunate how he missed it. Didn't really make a difference in the long run, and he misses a second Rock Blast, which also was super unfortunate. I felt really bad. I can't really control the hacks in that matter. Really sorry, Shady, if you actually end up watching this. Finished off the Jinyu with that Scald. Pretty sure it didn't matter in the long run because Gym Partner could have easily finished this thing off. Actually, it didn't even need Gym Partner. I could have switched. I could have brought in my P2 just to discharge that thing. Could have eaten up. It definitely could have taken at least one Ice Shard, especially since it's not super effective and Ice Shard is relatively low base power, so it'd be like base 60 after stab. So he decides Shady brings in his Hexorus, gonna lock himself to Outrage. Here I didn't think, since I'm a mixed attacker, I didn't think a close combat would finish it off, so I go for the U-turn. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get some damage just to make sure I actually kill it off next turn. So I switch into my P2, and then unfortunately this turn he does unfortunately get paralyzed, which essentially seals the game because P2, even with like no speed investment, will outspeed a Haxorus paralyzed Choice Scarf, which really surprised me because I essentially just left this thing out to die because I wanted Gym Partner to finish this thing off. So I'm really sorry, Shady, but it was a good battle overall. I know the Ice Beam will definitely kill the Haxorus because Haxorus, by the way that the fact that it was Choice Scarf told me, it was like, yeah, there's probably no way it's gonna be like super invested in its bulky side. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button. It really does mean a lot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Yeah, stuffs and things. I don't know what else. I was gonna tell you guys to answer question of the day, but there was, I guess, question of the day. Do you guys really think the rock misses really matter? I personally, like, after like considering it all, I could have brought in Gym Partner, just like close combated everything. If I didn't kill the Haxorus after one close combat, then I would have brought in the P2, which outsped, but which you guys saw, and Ice Beam it. So it didn't matter at the long run. It's just like, you know, it just saved some of my pokes from dying. Saved me some time with this layer 2. So this has been Enestor, and I'll see you guys later.